Hello, football fans, and welcome to our latest explainer. Okay, let's dive into this, because as the group stages of the FIFA World Cup 2026 heat up, well, the margins for error are basically vanishing. We are totally past the feeling out phase. Teams are literally fighting for their tournament lives right now, and the tactical battles we're seeing on the pitch, absolutely fascinating. Today, we're breaking down the critical shifts in the knockout bracket, unpacking two deeply complex matches that tested the absolute physical and mental limits of everyone involved. And of course, getting you completely prepped for a massive, high-stakes fixture coming up later. Let's get right into it. Two thrilling victories, three shocking red cards, one epic showdown tonight. First, we'll analyze those hard-fought victories that just completely flip the group standings on their head. Then, we absolutely have to talk about the total chaos of those three shocking red cards that force managers to just rip up their playbooks mid-match. And finally, we're looking ahead to tonight's epic showdown. We're going to systematically walk through the tactical adjustments, the moments of individual brilliance, and the sheer survival instincts derived straight from today's match reports. Section 1, the red card drama. Mexico versus South Africa. This was our first completed match of the day, and let me tell you, it was incredibly intense and frankly chaotic right from the opening whistle. A truly fiery encounter. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that staggering number, 3. 3 red cards. That is the total number of players sent off during this single 90-minute game. I mean, in modern World Cup football, seeing even one red card usually forces a complete tactical rewrite, right? You sacrifice a forward, drop into a mid-block, play to survive on the counter. But 3, that is just pure chaos. It completely overshadowed the match, blowing up any pregame strategies and literally turning the pitch into a desperate battle for survival. You see, the disciplinary fallout hit both squads, but it created an incredibly lopsided dynamic out there. Mexico found themselves down to 10 men pretty early on after a mistimed challenge. But South Africa? Man, they suffered a vastly more severe setback, losing 2 players and being reduced to just 9 men. Defending with 9 men at the World Cup level is a total tactical nightmare. They had to completely abandon their midfield, dropping into this desperate 4-4-0 low block just to protect the penalty area. And they fought incredibly bravely, literally throwing bodies in front of shots. But ultimately, Mexico stayed composed. They smartly used that numerical advantage by heavily targeting the wide areas, using overlapping fullbacks to create these massive overloads. That sheer attacking efficiency stretched South Africa to the breaking point, allowing Mexico to secure a really hard-fought 2-0 victory. Section 2. A tight victory. South Korea edges the Czech Republic. We're shifting gears here, from chaotic to a highly competitive, steady, and tactically rigorous clash. The narrative of this one was just a fantastic back-and-forth battle. South Korea strikes early with a well-worked move. They bypass the Czech mid-block brilliantly, taking the lead on a fluid, sweeping counterattack that perfectly used their pace on the wings. But the Czech Republic, they didn't fold. They respond strongly to level the score, dominating possession in the middle third and grabbing a goal off a towering header from a beautifully drilled set piece. Suddenly, it looked like the momentum had entirely shifted. But here's the thing. South Korea flat out refuses a draw and finds the winner. Their relentless conditioning was the defining factor. In those final 15 minutes, they shifted into a high-pressing system, forced a massive turnover, and bagged that crucial winning goal to take it 2-1. So, checking the final scoreboard. Mexico 2, South Africa 0, and South Korea 2, Czech Republic 1. So what does this all mean for the tournament? Well, these victories are a massive boost for both Mexico and South Korea. By grabbing all 3 points today, they firmly control their own destiny in the group standings now. On the flip side, the Czech Republic and South Africa are left mathematically vulnerable and definitely disappointed. After pouring everything out there and coming up empty-handed, they're going to need to win their final group games and do a lot of scoreboard watching to avoid an early exit. Section 3. Tonight's showdown, Canada versus Paraguay. Let's move to now and see how this builds from the completed games into the intense anticipation for today's upcoming fixture. When we analyze the matchup and the motivations here, we have an absolute thriller brewing. On one side, you have Canada. They are carrying the immense weight and the incredible passion of making their home continent supporters proud. They're expected to come out on the front foot, deploying a dynamic, high-pressing system to dictate the tempo and really get the crowd going. But on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you have Paraguay. They are stepping onto the pitch eager to deliver a surprise result and totally upset the narrative. Paraguay is notoriously difficult to break down. They're likely going to set up in a gritty, highly organized defensive block, just waiting to strike relentlessly on the counter. Both teams know dropping points tonight could be fatal to their hopes of advancing. The stakes, they literally could not be higher. Kickoff is exactly at 20 clock hours. So wherever you are, make sure your schedules are cleared because you absolutely do not want to miss this one. 20 clock hours is the exact moment this tactical chess match begins, under the bright lights of the world stage. Will Canada make home continent supporters proud, or can Paraguay deliver a surprise result? I'm leaving you with that thought to ponder before the referee blows the whistle. Will Canada's attacking flair and home continent energy rise to the occasion, or is Paraguay's defensive grit going to shock the world? The beauty of the 2026 World Cup is that absolutely anything can happen, and a single moment of brilliance can change everything. Enjoy the match tonight, and we'll be right back here to explain exactly how it all unfolded.